With the recent announcement by Qantas that vaccines will be mandatory for all of their workers, businesses around the country are considering whether they can implement the same policy. Today we will be discussing whether you can mandate the COVID-19 vaccination in your workforce. In the absence of a government mandate in your industry, or the absence of terms of an enterprise agreement or contract of employment, which requires employees to have the COVID-19 vaccination, an employer can only direct an employee to be vaccinated if it is lawful and reasonable. What is reasonable will be assessed on a case-by-case basis. In general, the factors to consider are the nature and requirements of the roles, for example, whether employees work in a client-facing role with contact to members of the public, whether they're near each other, and whether they're with vulnerable people who may be susceptible to COVID-19. Other factors include the level of risk of being exposed to COVID-19 or transmitting it to others, the effectiveness of certain vaccines, vaccine availability, and whether an employee has a legitimate reason for not being vaccinated. To assist employers to determine whether a direction to be vaccinated will be reasonable, the Fair Work Ombudsman recently updated its guidance materials. The Ombudsman has divided employees into 4 tiers. The tiers are Tier 1 work, where employees are required as part of their duties to interact with people with an increased risk of being infected with coronavirus. An employee at this level may be working in hotel quarantine or border control, for example. Tier 2 work, where employees are required to have close contact with people who are particularly vulnerable to the health impacts of coronavirus. These may include employees working in health or aged care. Tier 3 work, where there is interaction or likely interaction between employees and other people like customers or people of the public in the normal course of their employment. And finally, Tier 4 work, where employees have minimal face-to-face interaction as part of their normal employment duties. For example, where an employee is working from home. Whether a direction is lawful and reasonable will always be specific to the risks and circumstances at the time of the direction and the circumstances of each employee. So, what approach should your business take? Any business can take the approach of encouraging rather than directing workers to get vaccinated. This approach is low risk in terms of claims that may be made against the business. But some businesses may consider that it is necessary to introduce mandatory vaccination. If you are considering a mandatory vaccination policy, you should obtain advice from us. If you'd like to know more or you need help in this area, please contact the Quinn Group. You can reach us at info@quinns.com.au, via our website www.quinns.com.au, or our telephone number 1300 Quinns. We'd love to get your feedback in relation to Quintessential TV, so please like, comment and subscribe. We'll look forward to hearing from you all again next week. Bye for now.